Hi, I'm Evie Kimsing, editor of identityweek.net. I'm joined today by Azim Esmail, who's head of ventures and product at ATB Ventures. Based in Canada, they've recently announced that they've become the first Canadian organisation to achieve official certification from the Digital ID and Authentication Council of Canada. They regularly participate in Identity Week America, and it's really interesting today to be able to talk through their digital identity platform for authentication. It's really great to speak to you today.
Ivy, it's a pleasure to be here.
My first question is, could you just give us an overview of the platform and its kind of authentication capabilities?
Yeah, I would love to. And the capabilities of the Oliu platform goes much beyond just authentication. It's a digital trust platform. And what we mean by that is, it combined really three main aspects of digital trust that together provide an extremely powerful platform. That includes, digital ID verification, digital ID issuance, and authentication. We've seen a number of companies that have tackled those in isolation. What really sets us apart is bringing those three of them together and using interoperable frameworks and standards to do so, to ensure that it's in line with where the industry is headed. And based on doing that, we think that it's really the future of digital trust applications.
And most companies, organizations now are having to think about identity verification for their customers. What benefits are there to developing a platform like this in terms of integration and interoperability, with your existing systems?
Well, at ATB Ventures, operates alongside ATB Financial, but being part of the ATB Financial umbrella is extremely helpful and provides a lot of benefits. Being a bank, we need to be experts in compliance and fighting financial crime. And we have a number of scaled partnerships already to back that up. Building this product from within ATB Financial gives us the foresight to be able to learn from a lot of those insights that we've accumulated over years, and really start from a place of knowledge versus starting from a place of square one, starting from scratch and learning the industry. So we're able to battle test a lot of our approaches and a lot of our product development against what we know to be true in the compliance and financial crime arenas.
How does the technology transform your customers' experiences? How are they using this platform really when they go about banking services?
The power of our platform is in our layered approach to verification during a customer onboarding experience. The key thing that we are trying to mitigate against is having asynchronous verifications happening and having customers wait long periods of time before being verified, or even worse, not being able to be verified at all through the platform and being asked to call in or go into a physical location to be verified. We don't think it's really possible or practical to do that for every customer, and that's where the layered approach comes in. A cornerstone of what we have developed is being able to assess various different risk signals through the verification process, and routing customers through different experiences based on what we know about them. So allowing customers that have a very low risk score through an experience that is a little bit lighter weight because there's a higher level of trust, versus customers that may index high on the risk scale, having them to go through a couple of additional hoops, while that is a lesser experience than the person that will have a shorter time frame to verification. We still think that there is the ability of taking them through a number of layers of verification to avoid having them have an asynchronous verification or go in person. And so it's really about assessing the individual and tailoring an experience to them that maximizes their customer experience rather than treating everybody the same, and which often leads to asynchronous or in-person verifications.
Yeah, you spoke there about assessing the risk per individual. Are you fully equipped overall, though, to know your customer? How would you describe the main authentication method there? Some methods like passwords we kind of are a bit outdated now. How would you describe that approach overall?
Yeah, it's our firm belief that no organization is fully equipped. It's just not possible. It's a changing landscape, and fraudsters are continuously getting better and they're evolving. So it's more around what is our posture against it, and how quickly can we adapt to what we are seeing in market, and as we are seeing fraudsters, further develop their capabilities. I think taking the approach of driving the verification authentication experience based on risk signals and layering on modular based layers to it is an approach that will allow us to be able to evolve alongside the fraudsters and start getting ahead of them. So as we go down the path and see more deep fakes happening, and better social engineering techniques being employed, we have the ability in layering in more tools and better risk signals to be able to adapt to that in real time without having to completely re-engineer the system.
Brilliant. I just want to bring up a point. Canada is a highly banked nation, meaning most people will have a bank account and use these services. What does a lack of compliance between Canadian organisations with this certification suggest about possible changes needed for regulation? I'm just reading into this that you're the first organisation to achieve this certification. I'm sure there's others, but what is needed to get everyone at the same level?
Yeah, it's not surprising that we are the first, and certainly not that we're the first bank. It's a relatively new certification, and if you look at the banking landscape, especially within Canada, it's tough enough for financial institutions to keep up with all of the mandated regulations that are ever changing and evolving, as they should be. That alone is a big task. So, asking organizations to take on new certifications that are not yet mandatory is a tall ask. That said, we wanted to make sure that ATB Ventures was the first to go through this certification with our Oliu product. That was really important for us because there's immense value in going beyond what is mandated and adopting frameworks and certifications that are both practical and advance the industry as a whole. And the Pan-Canadian Trust Framework does exactly that. So it's really important for us to be a leader here and to be able to drive that charge forward. And we're confident that others will follow in suit.
Thank you so much. It's so interesting to hear about how you're really leading the way with this certification in particular. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Evie. It's been a pleasure.